Hello, YouTube. This is Ryan, aka the Habitual Line Stepper. Hope this video is finding you well. I'm dropping another one. Um, Growing pains. One thing that I've experienced in this lifetime of mine is pain. All kinds of pain. And I've learned that a lot of growth is in the pain. Pain allows you to know where you're weak at and strengthen that area. It gives you the opportunity to do that. Whether or not you do that is up to you. But pain is an indicator of something ain't right. You have to take an opportunity, or you should take an opportunity to correct what is not right. And when I say pain, it could be all kinds: physical, emotional, social, financial, mental. It could be any of those things. Spiritual, even. You can have pain in any of those aspects of life. And pain is not necessarily a bad thing. At least I've learned to change my view in terms of how I perceive pain. I try to limit it. I'm not welcoming, okay, yeah, let me get some more pain. No, I'm trying to eliminate as much pain as I possibly can in my life. And so far, I've done a very good job of doing that. No regrets. However, when you're going through it, you're going to have like a different kind of mindset. If you're going through a pain of, let's say, of family turmoil, that you're dealing with some narcissistic family members, you're dealing with maybe a spouse that you're not on the same page with, if you're dealing with, physical abuse, mental abuse, there's pain that's associated with that. And when you have, let's say, family members who it appears they have a vested interest in you having pain and misery and your life just not panning out. It's like they have a vested interest in making sure that happens. You do have some of those families. I would venture to say more than not, because people are jealous of what they see in you. They see your potential. And you have pain because you have to deal with these conflicts. And like I said, there's growth in that pain. Because when you have somebody in your life that is saying that what you can and cannot do, constantly bringing up the negatives that they see or the things that they perceive as negatives, the weaknesses that they see or perceive to see as weaknesses, people will keep the pressure on because in their own lives, they're miserable human beings. They're the ones who have not learned how to take pain and grow from pain. Now, a person who knows how to deal with pain, because life is pain. You're going to go through this life, you're going to experience some form of fashion of pain. And for those that get through it, it's not like the pain subsides. You learn how to deal with that pain. You learn how to make that pain into a strength of yours. If you're dealing with people, like I said, who are negative people in your life, and the only thing they say, only thing they relay to you and others around you is where you're weak at, or what you did, what you didn't do, or they fill it full of lies so much where the truth gets mixed in there. It's like soup, and you just keep pouring water in the soup. Eventually it becomes bland and tasteless. Kind of like the people who are passing, the negative people in your life, tasteless individuals. You, as the person that they're projecting this on, the person that they're putting the pressure on, there's a lesson to be learned here. And and for me, it's to look within and basically turn a deaf ear to those negative things that are around you. Pay it no mind. Find out where you feel you need to grow at, and you grow. You don't have to communicate your growth to anybody. This is your journey. Take with those, the negative things you learn, and you know what, the things that they say about me is not what I believe about me. You develop that mindset. You develop that strength. I don't care what they think about me. If you get on that path, like, I'm going to keep doing what I need to do. If they're projecting negativity on you, you have to build that opportunity, or I should say, take advantage of that opportunity to look beyond what they're saying. If you know that you're a good person, if you know that you're trying your best, if you know that everything you do is to pursue your own peace and you don't want to hurt anybody, if your goals are genuine and authentic and you know it, that's all you need to know. You learn to be self-sufficient. You learn not to need the validations of others in order for you to grow, in order for you to succeed, in order for you to reach prosperity in your peace. You develop those muscles. You strengthen those muscles. They don't know they're helping you. And you don't have to articulate, voice this, or make it known to them. I recommend you don't. I recommend that you keep a poker face and you don't even let people know what you're dealing with. Because most people aren't equipped to assist or help you with your situation. Most people are not. The vast majority of people are not. Some people just want to be nosy and find out where you're at. Offer no solutions, offer no support. I'm just a shoulder to cry on. I'm just a shoulder to lean on. No. Develop this sense of awareness and this self-care that you need in order to push past the negativity that's being projected onto you. It's a strength that you develop. It's a muscle that you're building. Continue to tune out the noise and focus on the things that you know to be true. Focus on your steps. Focus on the last video, consistency. Focus on that. Focus on doing those things over and over and over again until you have reached your goal. You may tweak it a little bit because knowledge is important. Knowledge comes when you're with your effort. So you see something, okay, maybe this will speed it up a little bit quicker. But you develop these things if you're able to look past people's negativity and push past the pain. Yeah, it hurts your heart that your family members don't feel, they don't feel your pain. They don't care about your pain. Friends don't understand your pain. But you develop this ability to push past that pain. You develop this sense of confidence that I know what I'm doing is the right thing to do. And despite all the negative things that they're saying and the lies that they're putting out there, I'm still going to push through. I'm still going to develop this muscle. And so by the time I get to my goal, I will be a force to be reckoned with. Now, financial pain. Let's talk about that. Pain, especially if you're a young person starting out, but this goes for everybody. You could be a middle-aged person. Stuff happens. You have a job loss. You have, beef on the job. You have a boss that is, insufferable. It depends. Your financial. You may be in a financial situation where you have a lot of debt. All these things play into your financial pain. You may have a spouse that's not on the same page. Again, different muscle, same process. You find out where you're weak at. Pain shows you where like I said, where you're weak at. Where's the problem? You have a shoulder pain. Oh man, I got to address that because I can't keep that pain there. Oh, I got this hip pain. Oh, shoot, I got to address it. You got to look at those things and say, yo, I got to fix these things. I got to heal these things. I got to pay attention to these things. I got to give these things, more support. Build these things up so they don't happen again. If necessary, take the proper medication. Those things. So when it comes to your financial pain, if you know you're living check to check, if you know that you're having, issues buying, basic necessities, your bills are never, always a problem. You're afraid to look at your checking account. You're afraid to look at your savings account if you have one. Emergency fund, what's that? You look at these things. I'm saying, when you find out that pain, you got one or two things. You can you can have that pain gets worse and more and nagging, and just let it fester and become a bigger issue, or you can address that pain. There's growth in pain, but there's also degeneration in pain. You can choose to go the other way too. But the people who I want to address are the people who take pain and will grow from it. If you have financial pain, and you know where the pain is, and you know that you've been, and like I said, not for everybody, because some people are at the bare minimum. There is no wiggle room. But again, there's growth in that. There's growth in that pain. If I'll speak about the first circumstance, if you know that you're overspending, and every month is, a problem, or you're giving money away to people because you're a good person, you want to help people, but it's costing you on the back end because, you are struggling at the end of the month. If you're dealing with a boss that does not value your work and you're there every day, you're one of the best employees, you're the one that they're relying on when things need to get done, those things. But you're still at the end of the month, you're struggling. When you go home, you're stressed out. Like I said, you're afraid to look at receipts and bank statements and whatnot. Every time a phone rings, you're like, oh shoot, I don't know. I don't know if I should pick this one up. This might be a bill collector. There's some growth in there's pain all around there. You need to decide, am I going to address that pain? If you know you're overspending, you need to budget and you need to cut some things out. You need to strengthen that muscle so you can have some savings and some discretionary spending and all this stuff. You need to discipline yourself. Master yourself. That's going to be my next video, by the way. Master yourself. That's definitely going in there. Anyway, you have to learn to master yourself in those situations. You know that you're in debt. You have to do whatever you can do to get out of that debt. Within legal, I don't want you to do anything, clandestine. If it means getting another job, if it means getting a promotion to the job, if it means you, like I said, writing out a budget, you finding out where you are weak at budget-wise. Maybe you're spending too much on entertainment. Maybe you're spending too much on food. Maybe you're spending too much on whatever it is where you see that there's excess in, and you know what it is. Maybe too much little DoorDash. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you're buying, if you're into video games, maybe you're buying too many credits. Whatever it is, you need to cut it until you get to the point where your debt is zero and you're able to save up, where you have an emergency fund and you have some discretionary spending and your investments are good for your future. When you get to the point where you're like, okay, when you got all these things going for you, I'm not saying you have to give up, your eating out and stuff like that and, forever. But you do want to get to yourself when you're on solid ground where the money that you have, if you ever get into a circumstance where you lose your job or there's an emergency or something like that, you got money and you're not sweating and you're not scared to death in terms of what may happen to you. I don't know if I can afford to keep my lights on. You don't have those worries anymore because you took that initial pain and you grew from it. You found a way. Because that pain was uncomfortable enough where you decided, I'm going to grow. If you have a boss that don't value you, that's another kind of pain. Here it is, you're doing everything you need to do, and you are their go-to person, or you're amongst their go-to people in that company. But yet, when it comes time to get paid or evaluated or promoted, there's these obstacles in the way. You owe it to yourself to either look for other employment, who do value, even if it means taking a little bit of a pay cut initially, but there's potential growth down the road, just for your peace of mind. I'm the peace of mind guy. I'm all for that. Anything you can do that's going to give you peace of mind so you can sleep well at night, I'm all for it. But you may have to, apply pressure. Why am I not getting promoted? Here's the receipts. This is everything I've been doing for you. When such and such project come up, you came to me. Again, master yourself. When you go into these situations, don't be in there emotional. Be logical. Be methodical. Have some poise to what you do. But there's ways to do this. You don't stay anywhere where you're not valued. And that's a pain. You grow from that pain because in you there should be a fire. Like, listen, I know I'm doing my job. I know I'm doing it at a high level. And I'm not going to be disrespected. Now, either you're going to pay me what I'm worth, or I got to find some place that will. But I'm going to apply pressure. I'm going to let you know this is what I have done, and this is how I feel like compensated. No one else should be outpacing me. Another coworker should not be outpacing me if I'm doing the work, especially if I'm doing more work. I should be considered for these promotions first, or at least at the same time. But I should not be lacking behind another. And you find ways to rectify that. I'm going to leave it at that because each organization, each job is going to be different. But that's what you do. Now, socially, there's pain in that. If you're the kind of person who is dealing with social anxiety, or, that's a totally different thing. And I can't advise you on terms of that. I can tell you this, though. Some people require other people's validation in order to feel good about themselves. It causes them pain otherwise. I am not that person. I'm the kind of person, like I stated in my earlier videos, that is good with a small group of friends, and I can appreciate my own company. I love me some me. I worked hard on me. I've done a lot for me. And now that I'm in the era of, whatever Ryan wants, Ryan's going to get. I don't hesitate because I've paid the cost to get to where I'm at. And so with that being said, some people require validation. You have to exercise a muscle there because it's very weak. You should not need a group of people around you to make you feel good about yourself. Constantly saying, I'm going to invite you to this, invite you to that. It's good to have social interaction. Don't get me wrong. It's good to have social interaction. But it shouldn't be something, it should be an addition to yourself. You shouldn't feel it being subtracted if you don't get invited. Sometimes I'm happy that, something gets canceled because I enjoy my company that much. I've developed that muscle since I was a child. You want to go hoop? Yeah, I mean, I go. You want to go, to the party? Yeah, you want to go to the club? You want to go to this outing? You want to go to this family gathering? I mean, I'll go. But, if we cancel it, I'm good with that too. I could be Showtime and all that stuff when I'm in a party or or an event and everything like that. But I've gotten to the point where I can take it or leave it. Like I said, I've been like that since I was a child. I can take it or leave it. I'd be good on my Atari 6400 or listening to my Walkman, dating myself, but, it's not like this beard ain't giving it away. But I'm saying you learn to love your own company. You exercise that muscle, become strength in that. Because some people, like I said, really experience pain. They're really hurt, really heartbroken. They feel betrayed. They feel unwanted. They feel devalued because they're not around people. They're socially. It's a weakness in a sense because actually it's a weakness. Because you should be comfortable on your own. And you should be good in a group. But for the most part, you should be so satisfied with yourself and so satisfied with your own company that you should not have to, you should not need validation from anybody else. need to be in that group. You should be like, I can take it or leave it. Because sometimes you go head first into that, and for those people who claim to have a lot of friends, which none of you do, none of you have a lot of friends, because a friend is a unique thing. That's gonna be another video. It's a unique thing. It's a very unique thing because there has to be some understanding, there has to be some vested interest in your happiness, and vice versa. A lot of people don't share that. A lot of people don't genuinely think of you as a friend. You may be an associate, maybe a very good associate, but when the rubber meets the road, very few people are going to be there in the way that you need them. And like I said, I don't care who you are. You could be the most popular person on the planet. At the end of the day, when it comes to the real deal, when you're having to need people, I mean absolutely need people, it's not a given that those people that you call friends are going to be there. But again, some people experience a lot of pain because they vest so much of themselves into something that they cannot control. You cannot control whether or not their friend's going to be there or not. You can't control if they're going to be, if they're going to provide you with any kind of support. You can't rely on things that are beyond you. And you have to develop that. There's growth in that. There's understanding that I got to build myself up so I can buffer myself against the things that could harm me. I got to be good on my own. You have to develop that. There's growth in that. There's growth in all kinds of pain. But you have to find it. You have to be good with those family members, not being cool with some family members, walking away from some family members. I don't know if I did that one justice before, so I'm gonna spin the block on that. When it comes to family members, you have to learn how to be like, listen, just because we're blood does not mean that I'm obligated to keep you in my life. No, I've cut off 95% of my family members. Now that's not an exaggeration, because I'm like, listen, the stress and the lack of reciprocity that you get from them, and the negativity that you get from them, no, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Some people may be very family oriented, and that's good. That's good if you are. But keep in mind this. Your peace of mind is invaluable. And if you have anybody in your life, kinfolk, friends, bosses, employees, co-workers, anybody in your life who is causing you undue stress to the point where you can't sleep at night and your peace is being compromised, you have to make a decision to grow or let that take you under. Because I'm telling you, if the stress gets so bad where you start having actual physical issues, that's when it's going to hit home. And by that time, it's going to be all kinds of too late. Heart go bad, blood pressure high, body's broken down, because you didn't do what you need to do to keep it strong. So now you're weak in areas that you should have been strong in, and now you got this disease or stressors in your mind and body. You have to make a decision if this is even worth it. Like I said, pain is not necessarily a bad thing if you wield it right. If you learn to handle it like a sword and to fight through some of the stuff that you've been going through, to strengthen yourself, find it within yourself. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. I'm sure I'm going to spin the block on this a few times. This is something that has to get done over and over and over again, because there's so many things about pain that I've learned personally that has been a pathway to my peace. It's been an integral part of my peace that I experience right now. But anyway, if you got anything from this video, please like. I almost said love, but if you love it too, it's a heart, so we can say that's love. If you please like, subscribe, and please comment. I'm trying to get more interaction. I would like to, one day, if this channel blows up, I should say when this channel blows up, I would like to do a live one day, just to interact with people and get some feedback, and see where I can grow at. Again, there's pain in this. There's a lot of things I don't know, and then there's also consistency that I plan on doing in order to grow this channel. But anyway, please like, subscribe, comment, preserve your peace, pursue your peace, maintain your peace, and let's get it.